said we have to do something about our schools. And I was in the state senate and folks had bills and filing and all, but we moved on that class size amendment against the will of the powers that be in Tallahassee. And we won because we allowed the people of the state of Florida to be able to make that decision if they wanted smaller class sizes. And I know that sold homes because you know when it comes down to how are the schools, that's the big question when it comes down to the 2.5 kids. And so we built a better environment for the children of the state of Florida. Now, me being an urban legislator, me being from a place where I was on the ag committee at one point and the vice chair, and a lot of folks were joking and said, what kind of agriculture do you have in your district, District 36? But I can tell you that that legislation was, the class size amendment was not something just for my district. It was for the state of Florida. It helped more suburbia than it helped my district. And so I think it's important when one has that kind of vision and show that true will and the desire to serve the people of the state. I think also another issue, when you think about my candidacy, think of someone that is going to be willing to try. Even if you say, I don't see eye to eye with Kendrick on every issue. My wife, I take it this way. There's 15% of everything that, there's 15% of each one of you that you disagree with the other on. For instance, my wife, I disagree with 15% of the things that she cares about, and she probably disagree with maybe 25% when it comes down to me. But I can tell you that I look forward to being a public servant. I look forward to being someone that understands the issues that you're facing and look forward to being the person that's going to come up with solutions. Now, we're going to get real animated in this campaign when it comes down to the fight for the vote here in the state. Just like we get animated in Washington, D.C. And it's unfortunate sometimes that it has to get that way, but it's necessary. Because when you cast your vote, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent or somebody that says I wouldn't vote for any of these clowns if they put a gun to my head. It's not about that. It's about the future. It's about what kind of state we're going to have and who you believe have the will and the desire to serve. The will and desire to serve this state. And this Senate race is a very interesting race because it's very dynamic. You have a former speaker, you have a sitting congressman that's running, you have a governor who would be the first governor in the history of the state of Florida since 1968, when they allowed governors to run for a second term, says, nope, I don't want to run for the second term. I love this state, I love it so much that I'm going to leave the governorship and run for the U.S. Senate to serve in the minority in the Senate to help Florida. So I think that it's important that you look at this for all of the right reasons. And I will, because I came running in here straight from the car, I will take any questions that you have at this time. And, excuse me. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, let me just say this, since I'm in the, okay, well then I'm going to finish here, and I'm going to finish in 4 minutes. Let me just make this last point. I can't come here without saying something about health care, because I think it's something that's very, very important that all of you, and we're a part of here in the state. This health care issue is crippling business, and it's crippling individuals here in this state. We have over 3,500 Floridians that are losing their health care every week. That's 3,500. No matter who you are losing your health care. The only coverage that we have outside of, you may say, employer coverage here in the state is called Cover Florida, that the legislature and the administration said that we should have here in the state to be able to deal with those individuals. Less than only 3,700 people have applied for that or have gotten that health care. And it's not really a package that people can actually go and be able to take care of their families and themselves. So when we look at this issue, when it comes down to a public plan or a no public plan, this is about taking the cost of health care down. And I'm pleased to see that the president, some people, he's getting, hit left and right on it. But I'm glad that he had enough courage to be able to step out there and say, no, we're going to deal with this health care issue, and we're going to deal with it now because the cost continues to go up. And yeah, if there's a better idea outside of a public plan, I would like to hear it that will give us the same results to be able to bring about the competition as it relates to insurance companies no longer ripping off individuals who need coverage. Last point I want to make on that health care issue, because it is the backbone to make sure that we don't continue to go through the kind of attrition that we have now. Yes, 1 out of 5 Floridians don't have insurance. Most of us in this room, because you're small business people, majority of you do have insurance, but you don't have the kind of insurance that you feel that you need to have if something was to happen. And I can tell you from someone that has family members that have been terminally ill in this country, in this state, I know what it means for someone to have inadequate health care. And I can tell you right now, to be able to bring the level of health care that's needed for this state, especially this state, where we're 50th, 49th, bouncing back and forth, and children that are uninsured. Thank God we passed S-CHIP to allow Florida Kid Care to be able to put more slots in to insure more children, even though we haven't put dollars into advertising there. But this health care issue is going to be the issue not only of this campaign, but the next campaign afterwards. So when we talk about bringing the cost down, I'm closing, talk about bringing the cost down, we have to talk about it in a way that's sensible. And I can tell you there are going to be people that are going to be using it as another agenda, but I can tell you in the final analysis, the reason why we're not at the point of where we are now, because people did not have the guts or the fortitude to see it through. When you're dealing with health care, you're dealing with a lot of money. A lot of money. Just like we have homeowner policies that are not paying out right now. Let's hope that a hurricane doesn't hit this state, because we're going to be in real bad shape, ladies. Worse shape than we've been in the past. The insurance business is not to pay out or to do the things that you wish that it could do if you get yourself in a situation. It's about making money, ladies and gentlemen. And it's okay to make money, but not on the backs of life and well-being. So when we go back to Washington, please stay tuned in that. Please contact your congressman. Please join me in the breakout room down here to the right. I understand that's where I'll be able to get any questions or charitable comments. But I do look forward to speaking with you, and I'm so glad that I was able to make it here before you broke out. And I'm glad that you did have this forum. I look forward to future forums, and hopefully next year we can all be on stage together to be able to answer the questions that need to be answered by all 3 candidates in this race, if not more by that time. God bless you. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you.
Thank you, Congressman Meek. We wish you all the best as you head back to Washington. This was so exciting. Realtors from across this great state have had the opportunity today to hear directly from 2 candidates for governor and 3 for the U.S. Senate. There's a lot of time today between primary elections.
This was boring!
So you